of thousands of people in our area. Lives and livelihoods depend on how maybe in some cases this turns out.
When two entertainment giants converge, where does that leave the people who power the entertainment capital of the world?
What do you think it means for people?
That's in the air.
Nearly everyone we spoke to today in Toluca Lake had already heard Netflix plans to buy Warner Brothers.
My first reaction was, I don't like that there's going to be big companies owning so much.
Some were initially wary.
I'd have to know more about what Netflix plans to do with it, because I would definitely have concerns. But overall, I don't love the consolidation of media companies like this.
Others cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, I do think it's beneficial. Yeah, I wish them all luck.
Kelly Esposo tells me she worked at Warner Brothers for 30 years and has a positive view of Netflix and Warner Brothers.
What would you like to see come out of this? What do you think would be like an ideal result?
Well, ideally, we need more jobs. So if any rather than downsizing, if we could create more jobs out, it would be wonderful.
So do you think this kind of acquisition makes it more or less likely that there'll be more jobs?
That's a good one. I really don't know.
Cameron Chapman works in video game development. He worries having fewer media companies greenlighting projects means fewer opportunities for creators and less variety in the productions they get made.
Before you could go to Warner Brothers and they didn't like you, you could go to Netflix. Like, you could go to different places. If they're all owned by more and more companies, you don't have room to spread your idea.
And while this has not been approved by federal regulators at this point, people in the industry, organizations within the industry are weighing in. We want to read you some of the statements that have been put out by various unions and guilds at this point. This one from the Producers Guild of America saying, in part, producers are rightfully concerned about Netflix's intended acquisitions of one of our industry's most storied and meaningful studios. That statement went on to say, our legacy studios are more than just content libraries. Within their walls are the character and culture of our nation. This message from SAG, the potential Netflix Warner Brothers transaction is a consolidation that may serve the financial interests of shareholders of both companies, but which raises many serious questions about its impact on the future of the entertainment industry, and especially the human creative talent whose livelihoods and careers depend on it. And then this one from the Cinema United president. Now, this is an organization that represents movie theaters. The negative impact of this acquisition will impact theaters from the biggest circuit to one-screen independents in small towns in the United States and around the world. And it went on to say Netflix success is television, not movies on the big screen. A lot of people that we talk to are really in wait-and-see mode. Reporting from Birmingham, NBC4 News.
All right, Carmen, thank you for that. Now, if approved, the acquisition would expand Netflix's extensive content library, but the streaming giant wouldn't get Warner Brothers' entire catalog. In fact, the deal does not include HGTV, TLC, TBS, and TNT Sports. We will continue to follow the impact of this deal throughout the evening. Coming up tonight at 5:30, we're going to talk with an entertainment expert about the possible cost to consumers.
Well, famed architect Frank Gehry has died. He was the visionary behind some of the most remarkable buildings that make up LA's landscape. From the Binoculars building in Venice to downtown Walt Disney Concert Hall. Gehry was born in Canada. He moved to Los Angeles when he was 18. He studied at USC and was one of the earliest architects to embrace computers to push the boundaries of what was possible.
He used to say that buildings can move more than anything. The buildings are all about movement, and he just holds that belief and then has to develop ways as an architect to actually realize that. And I think that's the thing that's so inspiring to so many people.
He is somebody who is accessible. bewildering. He is somebody who is local, but also is entirely global.
One of his most well-known and ambitious projects was a branch of the Guggenheim Museum in Spain. Gary died today at his home in Santa Monica. He was 96 years old.
New at 5, thieves on the prowl, but they're not targeting cash or Labubu dolls these days. Police say they're looking for a group who stole thousands of dollars in Pokemon cards from a business in Burbank. NBC4's Christian Castros has the security video investigators want you to see.
What started as an overnight robbery at this trading card shop in Burbank now has turned into a full-on search to find the thieves who police say got away with Pokemon cards worth thousands of dollars.
Guys were in and out quick.
Police say it happened Tuesday around 2 in the morning. Watch as a security camera captured several people breaking into the front door of the shop on Olive Avenue. Moments later, you see them run behind the counter with flashlights.
We started with the Pokemon side. There's 2 of them that runs through the majority of this area.
Kit Wynn is the owner of the sports cards and says he thinks the thieves knew what they were looking for, even though they filmed the entire store and also made off with the rare Kobe Bryant and Cristiano Ronaldo cards.
The second approach, come back, smash some more glass, grab some more vintage Pokemon packs, makes his way over to the sports side just for a tad, and comes back over, and they're in and out quick.
The Japanese franchise has been around since the and says it also created a large fan base with its trading cards.
I think Pokemon has just been so easy to move, to collect. It's loved by all age categories. It's been the most popular product in all of TCG.
Some trading cards, he says, ranging a few cents to millions of dollars, depending on the unique features, edition, popularity, condition, and rarity. And some even have serial numbers and certified.
Did get some of the slabs, had knocked it over slabs of the graded cards that have certs.
But to catch them all could be a problem.
So it's hard to identify one person's ownership versus another. And it's in the population now, it's easy to, there's no questions asked. So I think that's why he targeted that.
Police say over $100,000 worth of trading cards were stolen. Meantime, the shop owner tells me he is stepping up security so this doesn't happen again. Burbank Police is asking anyone with information to give them a call. Christian Casares, NBC4 News.
All right, let's turn to the weather now. Taking a live look at that pretty sunset, and we could be seeing warmer temperatures soon. Meteorologist Melissa McGee here with your first alert forecast.
Hey, yeah, we've got a really nice weekend. Just beautiful colors in the sky as we have our cameras pointed in different directions. We're looking live at NBC Universal at the hour. You can see we've got a current temperature coming in at 63 degrees. The high today in at 71. Relative humidity in at 30%. We've got those ones straight out of the south, sustained at 3 miles per hour. So light winds tonight, making for mostly clear sky and some really cold air that will eventually follow us during the overnight hours. We've got 68 in Santa Clarita, 64 in Long Beach, Riverside, 64 and 57 there. The big picture, light and showing you mostly clear sky right now for Southern California, but you can see the ridge of high pressure heading offshore out in the Pacific. This is going to work its way into Southern California. It's going to really amplify across our region, and temperatures are going to warm up. So we'll talk about the weather headlines. Mild start to weekend tomorrow, Sunday, right through next week. Pattern change, numbers in the 70s and 80s, and we're staying dry. No rain in sight. We'll talk about it coming up with your first alert forecast. Colleen, back over to you.
All right, Melissa, thank you. New details tonight about the man accused of planting pipe bombs in the nation's capital. Tonight, 3 people familiar with the investigation tell NBC News Brian Cole Jr. admitted to planting the pipe bombs on the eve of the January 6 riots at the Capitol. NBC's Yamisha El-Sindor has more on the apparent confession and Cole's first court hearing today in D.C.
Brian Cole Jr., the man the FBI says planted pipe bombs near the Democratic and Republican headquarters in Washington, D.C., confessed yesterday to authorities. 3 sources tell NBC News. Sources Sources also say he believed conspiracy theories about the 2020 presidential election. President Trump falsely claims the 2020 election was rigged. Today, Cole appeared in federal court wearing a prison jumpsuit and facing charges of transporting an explosive device and attempting malicious destruction by means of explosive materials. Authorities say he placed those bombs on the night of January 5th, 2021, the eve of the siege on the Capitol. His arrest is a culmination of years of federal agents combing through data, including credit card receipts for what the FBI says are bomb components.
I believe there are more charges to come.
According to an FBI affidavit, Cole's car was near both locations on January 5th, and investigators tracked Cole's cell phone.
When we had the pings, when we realized that this cell phone is pinging exactly where he's walking, we knew we had someone.
Thursday, federal agents descended on Cole's home in suburban Virginia, where officials say they found more bomb-making components. Neighbors in the quiet cul-de-sac say they're shocked.
You would never think something like that happened, and honestly concerning that there's so many years they have a suspect. Well, I guess this really hasn't said it. It doesn't seem like the neighborhood or somebody like that with it.
In today's hearing, government lawyers said Cole talked to them for 4 hours yesterday, and Cole told the judge he's hired an attorney. He has a detention hearing set for next week. Yamiche Alced for NBC News, White House.
Still to come here at 5. Excitement building ahead of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The draw-setting stage for next summer's tournament and how Southern California is prepping.
In Santa Ana, hero, the dramatic moments he sprang into action to save his family from their burning home.
And still ahead, a daughter is talking with NBC4 after immigration agents took her father into custody. The phone call that has her desperate for answers and a community-wide effort to get him released.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. So yeah, you don't just get some lawyer. You get an army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Hey, Dad, can we talk?
Sure, what's up?
I got some clothes.
Okay.
I know I paid for a brand new money trap.
You might be. Naughty list. They say
6 months plus 0 payment for 90 days and select Hyundai vehicles. At your local Hyundai dealer today.
Nonprofit Medicare plan for your health and independence since 1977. We put profits back where they belong. We're going to award-winning quality for our members. Call
Southern California, the wait is over. Hot Tub Swim Spa Outlets year sale event. Savings are massive.